Well, good evening. Welcome to Bedtime Stories with Pastor Michelle. I'm Pastor Michelle. And as you can tell, I'm on location. I'm actually in one of the classrooms here at the church, and I thought I would do my video in here. So today is July 6th. I really had to think about that for a second, as if you couldn't tell. And so today's story is going to be from Robin Hood, and it's called Robin Lends a Hand. It was a hot day in Sherwood Forest, a very hot day. So hot that the sheriff of Nottingham had decided not to collect taxes for fear the coins would burn his greedy hands. As for Robin Hood, he was trying to keep cool in the shade of Sherwood's oaks. Taking off his hat, he stretched out under the tallest, broadest tree, closed his eyes, and waited for a breeze. Suddenly, he heard someone coming. "Halt! Who goes there?" he shouted loudly, jumping up. "Oh, Skippy, my good man, forgive me, I didn't mean to scare you." Robin helped to pick up Skippy's twigs, which he had dropped when Robin jumped out at him. "Now then, that's better." But Skippy didn't seem to agree. Robin didn't think he had ever seen him look so unhappy. "Why so glum, my old chum?" Robin couldn't help but ask. "Oh, Robin, it's so very hot, and all the other children have gone to the swimming hole, but Mother has so many chores for me to do, I don't think I'll ever be able to join them." "I see," said Robin, nodding. "That could get a fellow down, now couldn't it?" "I'll say," said Skippy. "Unless," Robin went on with a huge grin, "a fellow had a friend to help him out." Skippy's sorrowful face grew brighter. "Do you mean?" "Indeed," Robin answered, bending to pick up a handful of sticks. "Hooray for Robin Hood!" Skippy cheered, nearly dropping his sticks once again. "Hip, hip, hooray!" And so, working together, Robin Hood and Skippy gathered firewood. They wrung out the laundry and hung it to dry. They picked a peck of juicy plums and a basket full of lettuce, weeded the garden, and built a scarecrow. By lunchtime, in fact, not only was every one of Skippy's chores done, but he and Robin had washed all the windows and swept Skippy's cottage floor as well. "Robin Hood, how can I ever thank you? I'd still be hard at work if it weren't for you," Skippy said when they were through. Robin scratched his head and thought for a moment. "I have it," he declared at last. "Take me swimming with you." Ah, swimming. I love swimming. Got to swim on Saturday. That was a really nice day. That was how Janelle and I spent our 4th. We hung out with some friends at someone's pool, and it was just a fantastic day. So today I want to get back into talking about women. That sounded weird, but yeah, to cover more of women who have made a big difference. And so today's woman is the first woman to travel in space, and her name was Valentina Therese Kafka. I don't know if I'm saying her name right at all. Probably not. So let's get into it, shall we? All right, and so you can see there she is right there. So this woman was born in 1937. We'll just call her Valentina. She was born in Western Russia. Her father, Vladimir, was a tractor driver, but was killed in the Second World War when little Valentina was just 2. Her mother, Elena, raised Valentina, her sister, Ludmilla, and her brother, Vladimir, working in a textile mill to earn money. Valentina started school when she was around 8, and when she was 17, joined her mother working in the mill. Valentina was very clever, and although she had to work to help earn money, she carried on with her studies at home. She also learned how to parachute for fun. She loved it, jumping whenever she could, day and night, on land and on water, but she didn't tell her mother. A few years later, her passion for parachuting got her an amazing job. She was chosen to train as a cosmonaut in the Soviet Union space program. The Soviet Union and the United States were locked in a fiercely competitive space race from the end of the 50s through the 1960s. Although the U.S. and the USSR had been allies in the Second World War, the former friends stopped trusting each other. Soon the world's 2 big superpowers were stuck in a Cold War. There was no actual fighting, but both nations lived in constant fear of a nuclear war. Space became the new frontier where the new nations could compete, each fighting to prove that they had better technology and therefore more power. The Soviets launched the first satellite, Sputnik, into space in October 1957. A month later, inside Sputnik 2, Laika, the space dog, proved it was possible to travel in space with the right equipment. In 1959, the Soviet space probe Luna 2 landed on the moon. In 1961, Yuri Gagarin became the first astronaut, or cosmonaut as he was called in Russia, to go into space. The Soviets were clearly winning the space race. Keen to keep their lead by sending the first woman into space, they trained 4 female cosmonauts. Valentina was the only one chosen for space flight. On June 16, 1963, she climbed aboard Vostok 6 and took off, orbiting Earth an impressive 48 times in just under 3 days. Yuri Gagarin had orbited only once, and the 4 American astronauts who followed him orbited a total of 36 times. So Valentina's success made her country very proud. But she very nearly did not come back. Although the USSR kept it a secret for decades, Valentina, there she is, Valentina revealed how she realized that the calculations for her re-entry to the Earth's atmosphere were wrong. She knew that she would be sent hurtling out into space, never to return unless she changed the coordinates. With the correction safely made, Valentina returned, making her greatest parachute jump yet. Leaving her spacecraft, she fell 20,000 feet back to Earth. That sounds absolutely terrifying. She was called a hero of the Soviet Union, the highest honor in the USSR. The Soviets continued to lead the space race, sending up the first 3-man flight and achieving the first spacewalk. Then the U.S. finally pulled from behind to land men on the moon in what many believe was the greatest moment of the space race. But the first American female astronaut, Sally Ride, did not go into space until 28 years after Valentina made her voyage. An important member of the Communist Party, Valentina led the Soviet Committee for Women for nearly 20 years, often representing her country abroad. When Vostok 6 was displayed in London in 2015, Valentina came to the opening ceremony and called her spacecraft my best and most beautiful friend. She and her trusty friend had indeed been on an incredible journey to the stars and back again. So good for her. So as you can see, let's see some pictures of her. There she is right there as a young woman on the airfield. And there is I believe, a stamp probably. And one of her quotes, "Hey, Sky, take off your hat. I'm on my way." And there, a bird cannot fly with one wing only. Human space flight cannot develop and further without the active participation of women. Once you've been in space, you appreciate how small and fragile the Earth is. And there she is getting suited up. And that's her training to work while disoriented in a specifically designed machine. So that is Valentina, my friends. Tomorrow, we're going to be getting into a different section of women. And tomorrow's woman will be Malala Yousafzai. I'm awful with pronouncing names. She's a champion for education for women and girls. So we're gonna these categories. This is our final category of the book, actually. Throughout the book, they've had different categories like imagine and create, hope, believe and lead, help and heal, and then think and solve. And so our final section is titled Hope and Overcome. So that should be fun. I'm excited to hear about the women we're going to learn more about. And just so you know, I'm looking ahead a little. The woman tomorrow, she was born in 1997, so it's a more recent, someone that's been around a little less than some of the other people we've covered. So I do hope everyone's doing okay. Just wanted to take time to go ahead and do my video. God bless you all and have a wonderful night.